Hi class, welcome to planning your dream trip. Let's get started with learning how to plan a trip. So the purpose of this lesson is to give exposure to geography, figure out organizing logistics of planning a trip, which is a huge life skill, particularly with all of you students who have come from all these places around the world and are now studying in the United States learning English. I anticipate that you will all be traveling in your future, and this is a great skill to learn all the logistics of planning a trip as well as learning vocabulary associated with traveling. And obviously, that's English vocabulary. Now, the learning objectives researching about a country, its local language and entertainment, and also managing the logistics of planning a trip, such as flights, sleeping, cost, etc. How to plan a trip. You have entered into a contest and you've been chosen to take the trip of your dreams. You can go anywhere in the world, you have an endless supply of money and as much time as you want. Where do you begin? Now, that's a very unlikely circumstance. You usually don't have an endless supply of money and you usually have a limited time frame, but that just helps you with the fun of it. So, which country will you visit? Here's a fun quiz to help you get brainstorming. So I'll show you what that looks like, but we're not going to take the quiz because I want you to do it on your own time. There are just a handful of questions that you can take, and they have little follow-up quizzes as well that can really help you narrow it down. But you would click on Emerging Destination to take that quiz. There are 196 countries in the world today. How will you choose one to visit? Use that link to help guide you, and here's the link. If you don't want to go through this format, here's the link for you to type in. Which continent is your country in? So there's 7 continents on Earth. You need to find out which continent you'll be visiting for your trip. And here's the link to this follow-up. It is a video, so I won't be showing it now. You'll have to watch it on your own time. But it's just a fun video that teaches you all the different continents, and it's very engaging, and you can do like quizzes and things on the side to help kind of test your learning. So make sure you know which continent your country is in. How much will a flight cost? Where will you sleep? Things like that. Planning a trip can be a challenge. You need to think through the logistics of how much the flight will cost and where you'll sleep each night. Enjoy your planning. And here are some Google Slides that you can click on. And I've also added the shareable link. And I've just kind of broken down some of the details. So how to plan a trip. Make a copy of this document for your own purposes. I did it as view only on purpose, so you would have to file, make a copy, and save it to your own drive to work through. But where will you go? How will you get there? Where will you sleep? And what will you do for fun? And again, here's the link if you'd rather type it in that way. So what will you do for fun? I want to break down that piece. I know that's already in the slides, but I'd love for you to use Google Keep as a great way to organize your thoughts. And I just wanted to give you a sample from mine. So there's the link again that you could type in. But what will you do for fun in New Zealand? And this is a sample. So you can make little check boxes. And I sorted through North Island and South Island entertainment. You can move items around. So if you want to start in the North Island of New Zealand and go to the South Island or vice versa, you can move items around and you get check boxes by, I've already done them, but show check boxes. And what happens is you can check them off once you feel ready. So it doesn't delete the item, but it just does a strike through so you can kind of see what you've already done or if you change your mind, but it doesn't delete it. So I think Google Keep is a great way. You can also change the color of it if that helps you for whatever reason, if you want to break it down into like adventurous things versus informational types of activities. So you can coordinate that however you want, but I think Google Keep is a great way to do that. And then you can copy and paste that list into your Google Slides. What will you pack? Here are some tips on how to pack. And again, here's the link. Packing for a trip can be tricky, especially if you're new to traveling. Be sure to pack a converter for your phone charger. Very, very important. And this article breaks down the items you might need to bring and gives suggestions on how to pack them effectively. So here's the article. And again, here's the link if you'd rather type it in that way. But I want you guys to check it out. And again, it breaks it into different components. So clothes, you all should bring clothes. It's very helpful when you travel. Shoes, if you're a shoe person and you have lots of things to do that. Beauty products, I'm not sure how much of that applies to any of you. I personally don't really bring beauty projects when I travel, or jewelry, things of that nature, breakables. So it breaks it down into different items. And I want you to peruse that list, take a peek at it, and look pretty thoroughly to make sure that you understand. What language is spoken in this country? Is it the same one as your native language? It's important to know what language is spoken where you'll be going. If it isn't a language you know, it would be helpful to learn some of the basic words and phrases in order to feel safe and happy. So here's a link, and I'll just click on it really quickly so you can see a list of all of the countries in the world, as well as the official languages and some minor languages that are spoken. So that should help you know. What do you hope to learn? Traveling provides opportunities to learn about culture, humanity, and yourself. What do you want to get out of your trip? And I think it's really important that you know what you want to get out of it and why. So again, you can add a slide to your Google slide deck, or you can add a sticky note, but I think it's really important that you process what you plan to get out of this trip before you even start, so you can plan your trip accordingly, and just experience everything that you plan to when you get there. And then reflection. So when you get back from this hypothetical trip, what have you learned from this process of planning a trip? Do you feel more prepared to travel someday? Do you think you'll ever take this dream trip someday? What was something that you found easy during this process? And what was something that you found surprisingly difficult? So after we finish all the planning, this will be what we're going to write about and then discuss as a class. So just be prepared for that. But that is all. Thank you for watching. Good luck with your trip planning.